The kitchen cabinet turned out nicely. And what we're going to do today is the matching cabinet is just straight. It's not a corner cabinet. That's going to go in this spot right there. Here's your handy dandy red bag with all your hardware. That's always going to come with a string on it. Look for that on one of your boxes. These cabinets come in 2 large boxes, each over 150 pounds. This is just, this attaches it to the wall, and I'm not just gonna put a little cord on the wall to hold up a kitchen cabinet. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Let's go to step 1. Okay, step 1 is gonna actually have me attach the magnets. All right. Step 2, attach the bottom side panel to the bottom cross brace. Little tiny flicks of the wrist. Let's see, Anna's on the left and O is on the right. The bolts are to the top. And I'm just gonna slide this in, and the way it goes is with the magnetic piece pointing up. You're gonna put your bolt into the hole where the cam is on the left, and then you're gonna slide the bolt in where the cam is on the right, and try to keep them very, very straight so that you don't break the board. So I did that. I'm leaning it up against this. This is my refrigerator. And then that way at least one side of it is supported with this board in the middle. It's just, this is a situation to me that could easily go wrong fast. And if this whole thing falls, you will bust it, and then you'll be out, you know, the amount of money it costs. So now we have this very, very unstable situation. These are the parts I don't like, because until I put the next piece on, it's a vulnerable situation. So the next piece it wants me to put on is B. I still have this structure supported by the refrigerator, and I'm gonna look for B. B is giant, so I think it's the frame, the bottom of the cabinet. And once I attach that, it should really give it some stability, and I'll feel better. Towards me, and the pretty front side is up at the top. Putting the second cam in. Okay. So they want you to put these white little plastic caps over the cams that will show, and it's these 4 bottom ones I guess are going to show. Yeah, they snap right in. Now it looks like we're putting the top on this assembly. It's stable enough that I feel comfortable picking it up, and would prefer to do it this way. Okay, so we're gonna put the lid on this, and I think you'll be able to see me do that. There. You have to find P. This is P. And it's gonna want me to put the bolts in, the bolts, 4 bolts. I'll put the dowels in this part. And we have our double circles to confirm where to put them. Don't rely solely on that, but it's a nice double confirmation that you're putting these bolts into the right hole. They actually have the arrow pointing to the front, so you know. Okay, so when you go to do P, they show you which is the front. Right, so I haven't put my dowels in yet. I'm gonna do my 4 dowels here really quick. Usually everything stays consistent, but in this case, that was definitely an inconsistency. Okay, we got that side. I pinched my skin putting together the corner cabinet when I was doing something and got this big old blood blister. All right, I'm gonna manually tighten these cams. Gotta put them in first. They like you to put the cams in before. So I'm doing them after. Everything looks good though. The arrows are pointing up in here, and this arrow is pointing to the front. So I think it's all good. And after P, okay, my upside down. After P is put on, that's it for step 1. So on to step 5, we now find those big pieces that we looked at before, D and C. They're very large. There's C. I'm assuming this is the top side. And there's a middle piece E that goes between these two. So you're just gonna put, oh, I'm gonna do this right this time. I did it wrong last time. But short bolts. So the shelf that's gonna go on here is that shelf with the plastic that, you know, and I have never seen these short bolts before and that plastic like that. I'll tell you what, I really, really like it a lot. You put 2 on each board. All right, these small bolts are in and it's wanting us to insert the board with the plastic pieces on it in between them. So I'm going to lay them on the ground to do that. So C will be on the left with the arrow pointing away from me. Like such. And then D will be on the opposite side. And then I'm going to get E. All right. So I have to lift this piece up onto the piece we just built. It has the plastic feet on it, so it slides real nice. Exciting. And this floor is not too damaged, so oh yeah, that looks so nice. This is how it's gonna fit. So this is my corner cabinet, and then this is the next cabinet. They were built to be right next to each other. So close to being done. Some of these are more difficult than others to tighten in flat. Just, I guess the holes they vary just a tiny bit. It makes a difference. I don't like moving this because it's not stable either. Oh. Okay. There we go. Okay. I believe this is C. We're just gonna completely resting on the refrigerator, and after it's stable, I'll move it over. Yeah. And I'm gonna place it right here in the way that it's gonna go in, and that way I can hold the piece on the right while I'm putting the shelf in. After I tighten the cams. Tightening the cams for the piece on the right. Tight. Again, the back one. Nice and tight. It's wobbly, but not too wobbly. So now I'm going to first slide this shelf on. Make sure the arrow to the front is on the right side. I'm going to slide the shelf on this side first because it can lean against the refrigerator and it won't break. Snap it in place. Snap, snap, and then this one lines up pretty good. Snap, snap. Much better. And there are some white caps, 4 of them, and they go on the lower holes. So I'm gonna go grab those and put those in. All right, so that's step 6. This is step 7 is now we're gonna add a magnetic piece to a small piece called G. This is G, it has an up arrow, which is handy. And then I'm gonna grab a magnet, the last magnet. Yeah, 2 screws for F. So I'm gonna lay that down. Screw these in by hand. Just making sure they're kind of centered the same. Looks okay. Tighten it down. All right, nice and tight. So it wants me to put 2 dowels, 3 screws. We did step 7. Step 8, you're going to put bolts in this piece, and again it has the double circle where you're supposed to put them, and these are actually your last bolts. Okay, that's nice and tight. And I'm sure we probably have dowels to... Okay, we have to put the cams and the dowels on there. I'm gonna go get the step stool. Okay. I've got the dowels and the cams in. Okay, I'm putting the top on. Just so you know, I don't think it's gonna be stable until I nail the back on. And I definitely have done pieces like that before. I want you to put white pieces in there. Okay, I'm gonna try to put these in. Okay. There we go. Now I'm curious to see if we're gonna put the back on this because, yep, that's kind of what I figured. I've done pieces before like this where they're super wobbly until you nail the back on. In this case, we screw it. So I'm gonna kind of just gently slide this. I'm just still gonna lean it against the fridge at a diagonal. Then I'm gonna bring the backs over So I'm going to make it so that the letters are on the outside. No one sees them. What I like about these backs is they're hard. They're screwed in, not nailed in. Nailing backs on is so tedious. And the other thing, it fits. It's snug inside the hole. One more. Now let's do the top. It shows you which side is up. This bottom one, let me see. It doesn't look like the bottom one did, but it's got a tag on it that I put at the bottom outside. But this one does show you which side's up. At least it's like staying up. So I'm gonna get a hammer. If you have a mallet, it would be better. I just don't have a mallet. So I'm gonna wrap my hammer in a cloth and I'm just gonna use it on the side. And just see if I can't tap it in. Oh, there. Wait a minute, the other side came out now. So I guess this would be the downfall if it doesn't fit into the frame exactly. Okay, we got it. It's in. Corners. This corner. In this one, you've got these two middle ones, and you hope that they line up with the shelf in there. I usually do that last. Okay. See how we're looking here. See, I think we have two more, and then we're gonna do the ones that go into the shelf. And I can see white back there, so looks like they're lined up pretty good. We'll know when we go to the front and look at it. Strip off, completed. I've got a lot more to do. I gotta put doors on and build a drawer. Okay, we put the back on. That was step 9, the back panels. Now we're supposed to put the shelves in, and there's 2 at the top and 1 bigger one at the bottom. Okay. Oops. And we have 4 left for down here. Just make sure that the back is towards the back. They definitely paint the front, so get this lined up nicely. There we go. Step 11. You put all your doors on. Step 12, you build your drawer and put it in. And step 13, you put the drawer in there. 14 is just securing it to the wall. Anyway, that's the end of my video. I hope this was helpful, even if you had someone to put it together with, so you didn't feel too crazy. But that's it. Probably not gonna show you more, but so let me give you a quick glance at what it looks like now. Just such a better situation to utilize this whole space that was completely filled with a refrigerator that slammed against the wall and didn't open fully. Now we have plenty of space for our freezer to open. So that's what it's gonna look like now.